Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about red dot sights on pistols. So I've been one of those late adapters to this new technology. Like most preppers out there, the idea of putting electronics on something that takes a lot of abuse, rapidly cycles back and forth, gets dropped, gets thrown around, in the training environment, kind of scared the heck out of me. And I tried a friend's gun that has the red dot sight. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about your red dot sights here. And they come in many different brands and varieties. So this is just one. I tried out his gun, and I realized I was really kind of holding myself back by not doing this. I own many Glocks. Again, you guys may hate Glocks. You can put these on 1911s too. Doesn't matter. They pretty much, every gun now comes with an option to mount one on, or you can have it machined to have it mounted on. So I pretty much kind of held off on adopting this till I tried my friend's gun, and I realized how much easier this makes getting on target very, very quickly. I'm going to give you some advantages and some disadvantages to it. And really, this is something you got to make up your own mind about. But I'm going to give you a look at it first. Now, I chose the RMR 001. This is their most basic model. It has the auto dimming feature, so when it gets really dark, the brightness of the dot goes down. And when it's really bright, the brightness of the dot goes up. You'll also notice that the sights on this gun are a lot higher than most. That's because I want to co-witness with my red dot through here and kind of lollipop the red dot on top of that sight there. These are Trijicon night sights. I recommend that if you decide to do this, that you definitely go for the suppressor height sights. These are for shooting with a suppressor, so you can see over the suppressor. It will allow the best way to describe it is, let's say this is the dot. It will allow your eyes to be guided up to it with the sights. If you try to shoot this without the sights, the notch will be down here somewhere, and you'll be hunting around in your field of view for where the heck is the dot. That is one of the disadvantages we'll get into in a little bit. It's a little bit of a learning curve. This also has the 3.5 MOA dot. The reason I did that is because I don't want a big, huge... The gun I shot had a 12 MOA dot on it. While making it a lot easier to get accurate hits at close range, my God, that dot took up half the target, So I opted for the 3.5. For me, I can pick it up really, really easy. It's fine. It's precise. And if I have to take a longer shot, which with this red dot sight is a lot easier now, I can do it. So let me show you what it looks like. I hope this works. Come on. You can see the red dot in there. There. So you can see how the sights line up and the red dot. I keep moving it the wrong way. There it is. And I promise you that has been zeroed a ton of times. What I did as far as mounting this is a Glock MOS. This is a Glock 17. The MOS model comes with this base plate in the back that you can take off and mount for your whatever optic you choose. And what I did was I left the base plate on first and put the suppressor sights on, went out, shot them, made sure they were zeroed. Once they were zeroed, I put this on and simply just moved the dot with my adjustments right to the top of the front sight. So I'm looking through there and I can see the dot right on top of the front sight, nice and perfect. So you want to kind of make sure that your irons are on first before you start messing around with the red dot. So let's go to the advantages, okay? You get a much faster sight picture acquisition. You're right on target. You can do precise longer range shooting, okay? There's no need for sight alignment on long range and perfect, all that. You just find the dot and you press the trigger. It's effective in light or low light conditions with the right brightness. That's why I like this one, because it auto dims. If I'm in a dark alley, and someone's shooting at me, the last thing I want is this big, huge, pulsing red dot. I want a very fine, small red dot. And this will go up or down depending on your light conditions. It auto ranges that way. Okay, you can help those with poor and aging eyes. If you're getting up there and you need shooting glasses, if you need prescription glasses for shooting glasses, this will help a lot. I know I'm 51, and I notice that my vision isn't as clear in the dark. When I'm looking through sights and lining them up, This one will be kind of blurry, and this one will be clear, but sometimes they're both blurry depending on how much eye strain. I sit at a computer all day, so I have a lot of eye strain. Depending on how long I've been wearing my reading glasses or whatever, this gets rid of all that. You can maintain your peripheral vision because you can shoot with both eyes open. Now, you're supposed to shoot with both eyes open with irons, but let's face it, not a lot of people do it. This way, you've got full peripheral vision either way, and you can look through that window and see what you're doing. You have an infinite field of view, so it makes transitioning to targets and moving from target to target a lot easier. You can see all the way around this plus inside. And wherever the dot is where your bullet's going to go. You can concentrate more on key fundamentals, okay? Aside from sight alignment, like your trigger control and your breath control. This is a great trainer. If you're new to guns and you've never shot with irons, I suggest you buy the MOS model, you buy the sight, you put on your irons, and you learn to shoot with irons first. You never want to rely on technology and never get used to your irons. And your shooting techniques are usually enhanced a little bit, since sight imperfections and trigger press and hand steadiness may be obvious by the movement of the red dot. Let me tell you something. You never thought you were like shaking like an alcoholic coming off a 4-day binge until you held a red dot sight in your hand. I mean, I'm pretty stable, but still, when you're first doing it, it looks like it's bouncing around everywhere. Okay? So your disadvantages now. Your battery life. Now this has a 2-year, it says 5-year, then I think it's 2-year after that or something. This basically says change it out after 2 years. Me personally, I'd probably change it out after 1 year. I bought this in the spring, I want to say May, right before the gun shop that I worked for closed down and moved. So I bought this in like May. So probably May of next year, I'm going to put a new battery in there anyway. And they're just the CR123s. I'm sorry. The CR2032s, not 123s. That would be a lot bigger. You must, excuse me, maintain your proficiency with iron sights and backup, just in case this fails. It's an electronic device. Trijicon makes one of the best in the world. You know, these retail for around $500 to $600. They're not going to fall apart on you, but you want to make sure you're still proficient with your irons. Okay. It's a costly upgrade, as I mentioned. You know, this stuff isn't cheap. I was able to use my employee discount for this, but I mean, generally, you know, a gun like this will run you about $1,200 because you figure the gun itself is around $600 with the MOS option on it. It's more expensive. These run about $500 or $600. Then you got your suppressor sights you got to put on, and that's not even including my barrel and my special trigger on this. So you're going to be up there in price. So if it's something you think you want to do, commit to it and buy it, but learn to use your irons first. You're going to need a little more training, all right? There's a little bit of a learning curve getting used to these. Me personally, I kind of went to it, picked it up right away, and I understood it. But that doesn't mean the first few times I shot it, and I shot his without the irons, all right? He had no irons on it. He just had the red dot sight. So finding the red dot the first time was like, hold on, where is it? You know, is it here? Is it there? That's my personal suggestion, is to get the suppressor height sight so you can co-witness. So it's going to take you time to get used to it, okay? And there's my next point, is finding the dot can take time in unusual shooting positions or while you're running. If you shoot on the move, if you do, your 3-gun and stuff, and you don't have these to guide you, your suppressor height sights, you're going to find that you're going to be looking for that dot. So it takes a little while to get used to that. You have to remember to check or change the battery. Maybe a pain in the neck. This one, I got to pull the sight off. However, it's not really too difficult. I have 2 little screws here that I have a little bit of Loctite on. Unscrew them with a decent wrench. Pull out the battery, put the new battery in, put them back down. To test this, I actually took this off, messed around with the battery like I was changing it, put it back in, closed it back up, and it worked perfectly. It zeroed right back up, right on target. And I even went out to shoot it to verify after that. Again, excuse me, got coughed today, I don't know why. You may have to acquire your iron sights now, your suppressor height sights. That's a disadvantage because they're expensive. I mean, it's $60 to $120, but it definitely helps you. And if you're new to it, it will guide your eye to the sight. It'll, like I said before, it'll lead you right up. There's your front sight here. Here are your rear 2 sides, and there's your dot. It kind of guides your eyes to it. So again, there's a lot of considerations to go into it, and if you're new to guns and you've never shot a handgun, by all means, do your research, get your iron-sighted pistol, get proficient with irons first. Okay, it's really a personal choice. There's no single best answer. A lot of this stuff relies on different needs, preferences, your physical abilities, your eyesight, the way you've learned, the way you've trained, and your eye age, and also your credit card limits, because it can get rather expensive. It's really not easy. And as I've given you some disadvantages and some advantages, I believe they're a great technological advancement. I mean, seriously, when I shot this for the first time after I zeroed it, and I got a single hole with 4 rounds at 25 yards, I was shocked. I mean, seriously. It's really a big advancement. But, you know, it might not be right for you. It might not be right for your concealed carry gun. Again, this is the gun I keep loaded for home defense. And it is not loaded at current time. But this is the gun I keep loaded for home defense. This is not my concealed carry gun. If I'm open carrying, this is the gun I carry. If the world went to hell tomorrow and I had to put this in my holster on my battle gear, this would be the gun I'd carry. But I also have other Glock 17s and a bunch of other Glocks in general. So if my red dot sight goes down from EMP or whatever, or dropping or breakage, or I run out of batteries, I still know how to shoot with irons. So that's about it. That's kind of the pros and cons of the red dot sight. Again, this is the Trijicon RMR, was it RMR 01? And I am really pleased with it. You know, there are bunches of other different brand names out there. So check around at your local gun shop, your local gun shows. See what's right for you. Try one. If a friend has one and wants to borrow it, by all means try it. And to some of the local guys I know from YouTube, if you guys want to try it out, give me a call. We'll try it out. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you guys soon.